filet mignon.
Welcome. Welcome everyone to I'm sorry for that. Welcome to the third episode and final of the Co-Conspirators. Today is a story time. Basically we're gonna talk about things that we've experienced in terms of supernatural. If you remember from last episode, we were talking about some stories that Scott wanted to share. We talked about some mythical creatures, and this kind of falls into that, but it's just more personal. So this is both me and Scott who experienced these things.
Yep.
So Scott, you have more. So why don't you pop it off with your mom's side, and then you talk about your own personal things.
First of all, I just want to say that the reason we were laughing is I don't know why, but you guys gotta admit, saying filet mignon sounds pretty funny. I also want to say that I believe that these things happen, but please, don't report us if you find it offensive.
Well, how would they find this offensive?
I don't know.
This is what happened. How would?
Because of that.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what happened, it's sad, and it's like, it happened, I wish it didn't, but,
An example is, in small towns like that, babies wouldn't get registered.
Yeah.
Kill confirmed. Taking control.
Yeah. But so a story I wanted to share was what happened to my mom. So my mom is a very dedicated Christian, and so when she was younger, I don't know how old she was, but she was not over 18. My mom she went on a mission. And so basically, they would go to this lady's house to pray, and like wherever it's where they would rendezvous. And so, my mom would spend many days there, and for some reason, every single day or every single time they went there, they would my mom and her sisters would just fall asleep, and they would just not able to concentrate. Like, they would all fall asleep, and they would all wake up the next morning still at the lady's house. So, this one day, my mom went with her sisters, and like every other day, she's like, they all started to get really sleepy all of a sudden. And so, when my mom started to feel sleepy, she started praying. And all of a sudden, she was still feeling sleepy. But she looks up, and the daughter of the lady where they were staying was doing witchcraft.
Oh.
Which was causing them to fall asleep.
How did she know that they were doing witchcraft?
Because she had a cloth of the pentagram on the table.
Oh, so like, was she asleep and she woke up and saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so, it was crazy. Like, my mom couldn't believe it. You go into a friend's house and you don't expect anything like that.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. My mom never did tell me how that story ended. I like to think that, they just, confronted her and, like, the mom. And she said as soon as they left, they started praying for her. And, it was crazy.
Enemy's got the lead.
That's it?
Yeah. Another story that happened to my mom. Like, this one was scary. So basically, she's on a mission, and they're all sleeping outside. And my mom gets this really bad feeling, and they basically, sent like a spirit to go kill her, relation.
Wait, who said that?
And she doesn't know.
Oh, so someone said that.
detected.
Yeah, like a demon just pulled up. And so, that happened. And they're all sleeping in
Enemy personal radar in the
hammocks.
air.
They're all outside. And so, this thing, it took the form of this really pale lady with, like, she had they were just eye sockets. And it was completely black. And all of a sudden, it just starts choking my mom. And, she can't move, she can't do anything. The thing is,
Kill confirmed.
my mom is there, and she can't do anything. She can't talk. She's take one of the ladies sleeping. And then once she kicks the lady, she wakes up.
Yeah.
To notify the other, missionary, and they all notice to see what's happening, and they all just start praying for my mom.
Kill confirmed.
And she says that it just
We've got a UAV on station.
and the sad part about the story is the lady that was like not taking care of them. The lady that was hospitalizing them. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, not we're talking about hospitality. Like she was like,
Hospitality,
yeah.
On station for Overwatch.
She passed away. And what my mom told me was that when a demon or spirit of that kind comes, they don't leave even if you like exercise them.
Friendly UAV overhead.
They don't leave until they take somebody with them. And that's why everyone has to pray when that happens. And the lady that
took them in. Yeah, she took them in. Yeah.
Yeah, the lady that took them in, she sadly passed away in her
Allied
sleep.
cruise missile away.
Damn, dude. So she died
Yeah,
because
she
of
like died.
the demon that fucking.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you have any personal ones or?
Yeah, actually. I'm not going right now, so can you go, Daniel?
We're talking about family first. One of the stories that I've heard, this was recent. No, I heard it recently, but it happened when before I was even born. My dad, he lived. My family is Guatemalan, which if you don't know, that's in Central America. It's not Mexican. It's different. But it's like we speak Spanish. It's kind of the same thing, but we're in Central America, Mexico or something. So for us, what happened was that my family on my dad's side, on my dad's side was Christian, right? But my grandpa on my dad's side, so my dad's dad, he was like he wasn't into witchcraft, but he wasn't really religious. He was into like some weird stuff though. I'm not sure, it wasn't like specifically witchcraft, but he also believed in some weird stuff. And one time, one of the stories my dad told me was that when he was a kid, he had like a really bad pain in his back. And this woman came over, and my dad was like, my grandpa told my dad to lie down and she'll take care of it. And what happened was that my dad said that he was lying down, and the woman came in, she just grabbed his back, and like she jerked him, and like the pain was gone. So it was things like that that my grandpa was into, and it wasn't really religious. And one time, my dad and his sisters had found out that one of the sisters was like involved in that too. Like she was also into some weird stuff, but she was like into it like kind of heavy, like it was like heavy stuff. And so my dad has 9 sisters and one brother, and then so it's 11 kids. And then one of the sisters was like into that stuff, but the rest were all Christian. Like the rest were all Christian, they all were good. And one of the sisters wasn't though, and like what that sister was the one who was like mixed in with the weird stuff with my grandpa. So then my grandpa died, obviously, because he got old, he died. And then one time when my dad was at the house, because he lived there obviously, one of the sister that was mixed into that stuff, dude, she starts acting weird. She starts saying stuff. She starts screaming. Like she gets possessed. She's literally possessed. She starts screaming. She starts she starts screaming. She starts saying all these weird things. She starts acting crazy. She starts throwing. She's strong. Like she's strong. Like you know when you get possessed, you get super strong. Because all of the sisters trying to hold her. They're trying to hold her down. They're trying to pray for her. They're trying to stop everything. But she's screaming. She's strong. She's pushing them off. And then when they would pray, they'd pray, and all of a sudden she'd get like really dizzy, she'd get like groggy, she'd be like drowsy, she'd get all like weak, and all of a sudden again she'd get strong again, she'd be stringy, and then one of the times they kind of broke through, and she was able to like, get rid of the thing that was taking care of her, and she like calmed down, and she's like, oh, what happened? They told her, and then she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go in the bathroom, I'm gonna go like, you know, like wash my face, I'm gonna wake up. So what happened was that she went to the bathroom upstairs, right? And she was like washing her face apparently, but what ended up happening was that she didn't come down for a long time. But it would be a long time that she wouldn't come down. So my dad was like, oh, well, I'm gonna go check up and I'm gonna go see if she's okay. And what ended up happening was that the structure of the house was weird. Like the way they built the rooms was really weird. So like the bathroom, like it was like, but it was like its own. Obviously, the bathroom was its own room. But the place where the sink was, above the sink, there was no wall. It was just a hole in the wall. It was above the sink, so you could see through. So, like, if you're washing your face and you look up, you can see people outside because there's no wall there. It's just a hole. So you can see through that. And obviously, if you're outside, you can see into the bathroom because of the hole. So what ended up happening was my dad was walking up the stairs and he looked through the hole in the bathroom, and he says that she was like washing her entire head. Like, it wasn't just her face, her head was in there, her hair was all wet, and her face was wet, and he says that she looked up at him, and he didn't see his face. Like, she looked up from the sink, she looked up, and he says that, oh yeah, I didn't see my sister's face. It was literally the devil's face. But he saw it was another face. It was like over her face, so it wasn't his sister. And like he says that like she got ready to fight, like she got in a stance where she was like ready to fight. Like, she was ready to get him to grab him, not fight him, but grab him. Like she was getting in a stance, right? And then he says he blacked out. My dad doesn't remember. His memory like went out. He doesn't remember what happened. But apparently, but as soon as my one of the sisters, like the sister, like got into a position and she was ready to grab him and like just get him, my dad says like when he saw that he blacked out and he doesn't remember. But another sister, another one of the sisters was going up the stairs with him, and she says that when the other sister got ready to fight and the other sister got ready to like grab him, my dad was like, en el nombre de Jesús, Jesús, de esta casa. It's like he said like a prayer, and like it was, you know who Luz Bell is?
Yeah.
Who is it? Tell me who it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm testing that. But yeah, the Luz Bell is Lucifer, and when the story is that when, obviously, if you know the story, the reason there's a devil is because the devil was an angel. And he wanted to be as powerful as God, but God said, no, you can't be as powerful as me, because I mean, I'm God, you're not God, I mean, just an angel. But he's not saying it like, oh, you're just an angel. He's like, no, you know, like, he loved him, and oh, you know, you're not, you're an angel. He was his favorite. Yeah, he was his favorite angel. That's the truth. He was God's favorite angel. And then what happened was that he was like, oh, like, no, he's not. And what ended up happening was the devil got mad. He rebelled against the Lord, and he's like, okay, well, you know what? If you won't give me power, I'll take it. And he left, and he was the devil. And some angels went with the devil, and they're demons. But that's aside from the point. But before the devil was the devil, before he left heaven, before he rebelled against God, his name was Luz Bell. But when he went against him, he changed the name to Lucifer, which is how everyone knows him now. But before he was Luz Bell, so my dad, apparently, which is what my sister, what my aunt said, which is my dad's sister, so that she saw him say, in his number 52, the place like Luz Bell. So I can't remember seeing the prayer, but it was like that, the numbers from the name of Jesus Christ, I like it was Luz Bell. My dad doesn't know that though. He can't remember. He blacked out. And then that's what happened. After that, after he said that, she stopped. And she went back to normal. And like she was actually.
So your dad said that. prayer,
Uh-huh.
but he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember. Yeah, he backed out, and like, but he wasn't like the priest. Like it was just like something else. Like it was like a god or like an angel like took over his body. I guess I don't know. It wasn't like something took over his body, but something else like was there. You know, there's another thing there. And if he doesn't remember, he doesn't. She blacked out. He doesn't remember that, but the pretty much what happened according to my aunt, which is the other sister. And after he said that prayer, like the other sister went back to normal, and then she was okay. And then after that, everything was normal. She went back to Christianity, and she's okay now. But like that was something that she was actually possessed. She was actually, like my dad said that he could say it was an actual devil from the face that he saw.
Yeah.
So it's like dude, like I'm like bro, you saw a devil or something? I'm like, dude. But yeah, so that's one of the stories that I got. So you ready for your story?
Yeah. So a long time ago, I was very young. Let's just say that. So this was at church. There was this lady who, she only went there because of her husband.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
She didn't believe, and you know that's fine. Like I get it. There's doubt.
Yeah.
Not everyone believes like we do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, all of a sudden, you know, everyone's praying really hard, and everyone, you know, starts speaking in tongues. And all of a sudden, this lady that, you know, doesn't speak in tongues.
What do you mean speak in tongues?
Like, you know what speaking in tongues is, right?
No.
You don't know what that is?
No.
When you're praying really hard
Friendly
and
VTOL
stuff,
on station
and, you
for
know,
Overwatch.
you get influenced by the Holy Spirit and you start speaking in tongues.
Oh wow, I know.
Like, it's like the language that God speaks.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
That shit was
ask your mom about that.
Oh,
Or your
okay.
dad.
Day's done. You're not.
Se
But that's
hizo
what
hablando en lenguas.
Yeah,
And
what-
all of a sudden that lady, and she starts screaming, and you know she was possessed by a demon.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I was there.
Oh wow, how,
And, you know,
yeah.
all of the adults just picked us up and just took us to like the very back, but we could still see something.
Mm.
And you know, we're there, and like her children are there watching her do this crazy stuff,
wow.
and she starts speaking these languages that like we don't understand, and it wasn't like just like babble, like it looks like actual word structure. And, no, really. And, and you know, they try and hold her down, you know, they can't, you know. And then, you know, they just start praying for her.
Mhm.
And, you know, we don't call it an exorcism, we call it liberation, or
Mhm.
una liberación. And so they start praying for her. And, you know, she becomes better. And so, you know, that was crazy because, you know, it happened at church. And, you know, it tells you that, you know, people can still be corrupt even in like a holy place.
Yeah.
And you know, they start asking her questions, you know, what made you feel vulnerable? She couldn't answer the question.
Yeah, but
She
you're
said
not
that.
there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it really did freak me out because I was really young.
Well, dude, yeah, I mean, imagine, I can't even say, like, you were there, I'm not even say imagine, like, you were there, someone, like, people watching this, imagine you're a little kid, you know, you're just watching this woman scream in this weird language, everyone's trying to hold her down, but they can't, you know, it's just, yeah, I mean, obviously, you fucking scared shitless.
Yeah, and she was like, she had her normal voice, because, you know, I always hear people go like, oh, they get a man's voice. No, she had like a regular voice.
Well, that's like female demons, I'm pretty sure, so yeah.
Yeah, like, she sounded very suggestive.
Like,
Hey, relax. You're gonna get possessed in like 2 seconds.
shut up, don't even say it, don't even, that's right, you know,
I'm kidding.
you know I'm fucking like,
That was crazy, and I was like, bro, I don't know if I can handle that. And you know, we went home, and I tried to talk to my mom about it, and you know, she just denied everything. And I was like, well,
but
makes sense. Makes sense because I was young.
no
But,
one's
you know,
got just
she
dreams
did
there.
tell me the truth. she did tell me the truth. But, you know, I would ask her, you know, is she okay? And she'd go like, yes. And I asked her like, was she... She told me like that she was possessed. But she kept telling me, don't think about it. Because, you know, when stuff like that happens, you know, just thinking about it, you know, just being scared, just feeds.
If you open doors, you know.
Yeah. So which is why, you know, I try to block it out, but there's just some things you can't forget.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, there's things that are in my head, you know how to outlet it.
Yeah.
Forget really, but is that it? Or you another thing?
Do you have another story?
I have one. It's not really a big story. It's just something that I remember that happened to me that freaked the hell out of me. And there's not really an explanation to it. There really isn't an explanation to it. I can't explain what happened. This was a few years back. Actually, more than a few years back. This when I was younger, a lot younger. I remember that I had well, a little bit about my life, which I'm not gonna go into detail. Just so you guys a little bit understanding. I have a brother. But he went to another country for some studies. But while he was over there, he ended up meeting someone that he loved. He had a kid. And so he wasn't at home at this point. So he had left for studies. He went to study overseas. And while he was over, I really just know what happened. But I missed him. I was a lot younger. He was my older brother. I mean, I missed him. So what I would do is that instead of staying in my room, I would stay in his room. And I would just sleep there every once in a while. But then I ended up like moving into his room, so I would stay there. I would literally be in his room. It was mine. And then what happened was that eventually I spent there all the time. I was there. And this was, but when this happened, I was already in his room for like a long time. It was like a year by that time. I was already in his room. But I remember that. So there was a bunk bed, and Grandma would come to our house, and she would stay in my room, and I would sleep in my brother's. So me and him would sleep in bunk beds together. So I would be on top bunk, and he would be in the bottom bunk, and that's how it would be. But when he left, obviously, I just stayed in the bunk bed by myself. So I would stay in the bottom bunk by myself. And I had like this big comfy chair that was like next to the bed. So like the head of the bed, where the pillow was, would be like right next to the big comfy chair. And I would watch TV usually before I went to bed, right? So I'd watch TV. I'd watch like One Nick at Night, you know, watch like George Lopez and shit like that. Yeah. Because I'd have like recorded shows already. So I would go on that, and then what happened was that, I always had to go to bed because my parents were like, yeah, I'll go to sleep, so I was fine. So I turned on the TV, I distinctly remember I put the controller on the bed. I mean, not sorry, on the couch, on the chair that was next to my bed. So I put the controller there, I then turned on the TV, I went to sleep, and that was that. I wake up like around, I don't know, it was like, it was AM, it was like 2, 3, 4, I don't know what time it was specifically. I just remember that it was late, it was the AM, I'm like really groggy, but I'm hearing voices, I'm like, what the hell, like who's here in my room? So I'm like, I don't want to wake up though, I'm like, whatever. So then I keep hearing it for like more than a little bit of time. I'm like, so someone's in my room. So I'm starting to wake up and realize, I'm looking around, I don't see anybody, but I noticed that the TV's on. And it's I know this movie because I saw part of it with my dad, but like it freaked me out, so I stopped watching it. There's a movie called Sin City. Literally called Sin City. So it's like this weird, like most of the movies is weird black and white, but it's a recent movie. Like, it was made like I don't know 2000 something, but it was black and white. And I was playing, I'm like, oh, like I probably rolled over the controller or something, I probably turned it on by accident. So I started looking at the controller, and then I remembered, wait, I left it on the chair. So I noticed that the controller's there on the chair, and there's absolutely no other possible way that I had turned on the TV. Is that, I'm like, your brother plays prank on you, but like my brother's in another country, my parents would not turn on my TV, then leave it on and leave my room. I remember just being so scared, feeling so disturbed at the fact that my TV turned on. It was a movie literally called Sin City. It was really weird. It's like a disturbing movie if you watch. It's not horror, but it's really weird, man. Like it's not a normal fucking movie. And I remember that I was watching it a little bit with my dad, and I freaked out at that age. It was around that time that I'd seen it for the first time. So I didn't finish watching it. And I remember it was a really freaky movie, and I remember I'm like, dude, I couldn't have turned it on by myself. I didn't leave it on by accident, that my brother wasn't there, so he couldn't have done it for me. I was, with my fucking dog, you know, tell me my fucking dog did that. So no, I mean, it was something not natural, you know. I remember that. So
Friendly
that's
care
the
package
thing.
inbound.
So, Scott, you know what comes to mind?
I think that's gonna be all.
You just tell me one about like, well, you came back from the bathroom, you're still sitting on your bed.
No?
You told me a story about that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember you told me. Oh shit, okay. I remember you told me a story about how like when you were young, like you had bunk beds too, and like when like you went to the bathroom, you came back, is there something on your bed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I remember it was a long time ago you told me.
So,
HQ
you know, I
secure.
used to sleep in my parents' room.
New location
And, you know,
on the way.
that was-
Stand by.
he put it
Allied
out,
cluster
though.
strike inbound.
You
Friendly care
know,
package inbound.
obviously in a separate bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was about... I was in
New
middle
HQ
school.
identified.
And so,
That was a long time ago then.
You
Shoot,
know-
that was a long time ago.
I said it was in middle school.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. And so, you know, I would see, like, you know when you see a pilot, you know, just like a monster,
Yeah.
well, as soon as you get up and, you know, you look at
When you realize it's
it,
something.
you're like, oh, it's just closed.
Or it's just a chair, or it's just something.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a natural thing, so I'm like, okay, I know if I look at it, I know it's gonna not be anything.
But
So I
wait,
caught up.
sorry. What happened?
And, you know,
Explain the setting though, explain the setting. Because I'm not
so
sure what you're
it's
talking
nighttime, and I wake up at like 3:42.
about. Do you remember that
And-
time specifically?
Yeah. Well, dude, it was scary.
Alright, yeah. And you, wait, so okay, so you were...
And so
yeah.
I'm freaking out because
HQ contested.
I'm seeing this like
Disabling the
silhouette
HQ.
of a
Secure the
man. I'm
perimeter.
like, okay,
Silhouette.
yeah. I know if I get up, and I don't even have to walk
Contested.
towards it. I know it's gonna go
But
away.
where did you see it though?
I was laying down on my bunk bed,
losing.
and
Turn
I
it
was
around.
looking through the side, or at the side. And
Was it on
I
your
see
bed?
It.
Shutting
Yeah.
down the
Oh,
So
escape.
my
shit.
parents' bed is, you know, on a
HQ
corner,
contested.
and then mine is
Shutting
next to
down
a
the
wall,
enemy
because it's a
HQ.
bunk bed. And so I turn my head, and I see this figure.
Capturing the HQ.
And, you know, in my head, like,
Location
every other
secure.
time, I'm like, okay,
Enemy
I know if I
UAV
get
overhead.
up, or, you know, kind of,
Stand by for new-
like, I know it's gonna go away, and I know it's nothing. Well, I do that, and I still see it.
New HQ
I'm
identified.
just gonna go to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, as I'm walking, I'll just stare it down just in case. And so I'm doing that, you know, and it looks like, you know, a shadow
Enemy
person.
personal radar online.
So I'm like, I'm scared, so I go to the bathroom, and it's scary. Like, I didn't want to turn off the lights when I was done, you know, using the restroom. And so, when I came out, I let my eyes adjust first, because I didn't want to, you know, just go out.
Friendly shield turret
I
deployed.
wanted to, you know, at
Enemy
least, you
Wilson
know,
deployed.
have the comfort of seeing. So,
Secure the
this is there. And, you know,
HQ
my
contested.
eyes are adjusting. And I'm looking at, like, the shadow person. And, you know,
enemy on the HQ.
at
Clear
that
them
point,
out.
I realized, okay, it was just a pile of clothes. It was just my imagination. I look over at my
HQ
bunk bed,
contested.
and it's not laying on my bed.
Enemy on the HQ.
But
Clear them
because
out.
my bed is next to the wall, and my parents' bed is at the corner, it was sitting on the
shut
edge
down,
of the
regroup.
corner of my parents' bed, where you
Stand
have
by
to
for new
walk sort of
coordinates.
in between, so
Enemy
I
in
can
the
get there,
center.
sort of waiting for me.
Friendly UAV online.
And so at this point, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So I just go and turn on the light.
Enemy personal
And then
radar
I don't
online.
see it anymore. I'm like,
HQ
okay, well, yeah, because I
identified.
mean, the room light's on. So at that point, I'm feeling better, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up my dad, and I'm just gonna tell him that I clogged the toilet or something.
What?
I didn't end up doing that because I realized how ridiculous that sounded. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn off the light and sprint to my bed. And so that's what I try and do.
Oh.
So once I get there and I'm laying down, I don't
Enemy on the
put my
HQ.
like coverage over my face.
They're taking the
Because,
HQ.
I don't want to be that person.
Friendly care package inbound.
So
HQ
I'm there,
contested.
and
We're taking the
I'm
HQ.
looking at my dad, just in case,
Enemy personal radar
something
online.
happens. So I'm
Friendly
laying
UAV
down.
online.
Something happened. So go back to
And
the part
then
where
I see my dad.
Scott. Something happened. I need you to go
capturing
back to the
HQ.
part where you told me that you were gonna sprint to your bed.
Yeah,
So you can sprint. What
I'm
happened?
scared, and I can't
Enemy
see
HQ
the
contested.
silhouette of the person.
When the lights are on, right?
Yeah. The sight is I'm gonna
Enemy
turn off
has
the light,
captured the HQ.
sprint,
Friendly
everyone's
UAV
done
online.
that.
Yeah.
You're scared of the dark, turn off the lights and you run as fast as you can. So that's what I decided to do.
HQ contested.
And so once I turn it off
Hard day.
and get
Clean
through
yourselves up.
to my bed, I lay down and I was first staring at the wall because I'm thinking, why would I want to look at it? And if anything happens, might as well just not know if something's gonna happen. So I'm laying there and I decided to turn over and look at my dad because I wanted to if anything happens, worst case scenario, I'm able to scream or something. And so when I turn over, I see this little doll hanging over my dad's foot, and because the bed is in the corner and mine's in the wall, it creates sort of this walkway that you have to get into to sit down or lay into the bed. And because the stairs to go up to the top bunk is in the way, so I can't just go and jump there. I have to actually walk. And so I was just there and I was just staring it down. And I'm scared, like I can't even talk. Like, when you forget to breathe, but you remember, so as soon as I hear my heart beat, and it wasn't beating fast, like I could hear it, and then I was like, I started to breathe, and so I'm freaking out, and then I swear, out of nowhere, I see like its hand not wave at me, but kind of drop of the doll that was hanging off my dad's foot.
Oh, God,
and like
dude.
at that point, I'm about to scream, and I just started praying, and I just ended up falling asleep. And when I woke up, I told my mom, and she was telling me how she had a dream
Oh God.
that I was not that I got kidnapped, but that
Headquarters.
someone took me and she couldn't find me,
HQ
and
as
that
it comes
someone got
online.
in the house, and it was scary
Oh.
as
HQ
hell.
identified.
I
Secure
was
the area.
almost living her dream.
Enemy.
It was probably one of the scariest things.
Oh my God, dude. Alright, let me find the light. I'm gonna turn this bitch on. I'll get there. Okay. Where's the light switch there?
Yeah, I'm gonna
online.
look for that.
Look,
I just saw that last game. It looked like
Enemy UAV overhead.
yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, hey, don't judge us, alright? We're grown, but we're still scared. So,
Yeah.
alright, but thanks for tuning in, guys. This was a little bit. Oh, wait, actually, I have, one more
This
story.
is a
Wait,
weird
wait,
episode.
wait, one more story, actually. So, I'm gonna tell you guys about the one time that I had. I don't know what you call it, if it really is sleep paralysis, but the thing is, man, I was dreaming and I woke up and it happened to me. So here's what happened, man. I don't know what you want to call it. I know it happened. So like,
with the
yeah,
crown?
shut no. What? Oh no, dude, no. That was an actual dream. Yeah, sorry. The time like I had a nightmare that was like really impactful on me. But it wasn't really supernatural. Yeah, that's the dream that he's talking about. It scared me. It was a nightmare. It was really impactful, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about one time when I was. It was the same place, same thing. I was in my brother's room. I was sleeping in the bunk bed. So what happened was that ever since that time that like the TV came on by itself, I decided to sleep opposite. So I would put like the pillow on the other side of the bed, facing away from the chair. So what ended up happening was that when I was sleeping, man, I was dreaming. I don't remember the dream. I remember what happened before I woke up. I don't remember the dream specifically, but I remember that I was in my dream. before I woke up, I was lying down also in my dream. I was in this really, it was a huge room. I know that for sure. I didn't look around. I was lying down looking up. But the ceiling was giant. It was like super, like the ceiling was super far away. I mean, it was like huge. And there was just one window in the ceiling that was like obviously to the outside, and there was sunlight coming through that was looking directly at the window. But the ceiling was really far away, and I know that the room was huge, but I wasn't looking around the room. I just thought the room was giant. The ceiling was super far away, and there was a small window in the ceiling that I could look out of, which was sunlight was coming through. This was my dream. I woke up from that, dude. So I don't think it was a dream that I had, because I woke up from a dream when it happened. So I woke up from the dream to see that something black. It was just something black was on my chest. And its tail or its arm, whatever it was, like on my arm. So I'm not sure if its arm was grabbing my arm or if its tail was like wrapped around my arm, but something was on my arm. It was long. It was on my arm, and then there was something. It was a weird shadowy thing. It also happened to me. It also happened to me in middle school, but we didn't know each other back then. In 6th grade, it happened to me. But that was some time ago. So either way, it was black, the shadowy mass on my chest, something on my arm. And I remember I couldn't breathe. I could breathe. Obviously, I would be dead. But I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I was trying to scream my friend. Mom was like, I was trying to say anything. I was trying to just talk. I was trying to move. I couldn't until finally, like, the thing, it went away, and then I also prayed, and after a bit it went away, and I remember just I felt this, and I could breathe. I was breathing the entire time, but I just felt this huge breath just come into my lungs. I was like, and I could move, I could talk, and I went to my parents' room. I told them what happened, and yeah, that's what happened to me. That was pretty much it.
HQ contested.
I don't remember like, something else happened to me again. Oh, okay. So a few things happened to me when I was a few years back. No, a few months back. I went to go visit. No, it wasn't. No, it was years back. A few years back, I went to go visit my brother in Guatemala. Because like I said, he was studying abroad. You know, he met a woman. He had a kid. He lives there now, but he's trying to come back. He's trying to get papers for his wife, but due to the recent outbreak, which we won't say, things have slowed down. But a few years back, I went to go visit him because it's been a long time since I've seen him. So I went to go visit him, and while I was there, you know, I remember they told me that the grandma had died there, and I was like, damn, it's kind of crazy. But I didn't think a lot of it. And I don't think that had anything to do with this, but you know, it might have. And I remember that I was on my first night there. I was on the couch. I was sitting on the couch, right? And okay, I just got dizzy. That's good. So they had one room there, and like they slept in the room with the kid, and I was on the couch in the living room. So I was lying down on the couch, and what happened was that I remember that something like grabbed my throat, man, and it was just so creepy. And then I told them no one really cared. So then I ignored it, but then I remember that one time I was really tired. Cause I remember what happened. I was really tired there, and my brother, his job, he has to get up at 4 to go to work. So he's always tired when he gets home, and he usually takes a nap. So we both fell asleep on the couch at the same time. And I remember that. Oh man, this is fucking hard to talk about. I remember and I can't move or talk again. And I'm looking around and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But I'm awake, and then I remember I see my brother, and dude, oh my god.
HQ contested.
All of a sudden my arms, they start moving by themselves, man. They're going towards my brother, but on their own, and I'm fighting. I'm like trying to put my arms boxing, you know. I'm trying to make sure my arms don't go through, because I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that my arms are moving by themselves, and they're moving towards him, and I doubt it's to give him a hug. You know, I doubt my arms are moving by themselves to like pat him on the back. It was something wrong, so I didn't want my hands to touch him because I didn't know what's going on. I know it wasn't good, so I'm like, you know what? No. So I'm fighting this. I'm trying to make sure that my arms are still in my control. I'm pulling them back, but it's just struggle, man. I'm trying to just get them back to me. They won't let me. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to say anything that I can. And I just can't. So again, after I pray again, you know, finally I'm able to to move and like get my arms loose and stuff like that. But I remember that night when I was with him before that even happened. I felt weird. There were some weird things going on, and I remember that I was hearing things before.
HQ contested.
I don't know if that was just actual people in the room because I said it was in the living room. So I'm not sure if that was actually people in the room or if it was just my mind. But yeah. But I'm getting a battery level low location, so I think Scott was gonna wrap it up.
Enemy cruise missile incoming.
Yeah, so again, just talking about this weird episode. We're just talking about some personal stuff. But thanks for tuning in, for listening, and we hope that you guys have a good day, great time.
We're at the
Thanks for
HQ
watching, and
standby.
we'll see you later.
Friendly UAV online. HQ contested.
Alright, we'll be now.